Hey guys, everyone knows who Donald Trump doesn't get along with. All of our traditional allies, the European Union, Canada, Mexico, naturally. All of our basically neighbors and historic allies that we've gotten along with for decades or centuries. Trump's got a bone to pick with. Um, he's a really contentious dude. What I actually think is really interesting is the figures and the charismatic leaders that Trump actually sort of vibes with. Because that list is shorter for one, because we have way less enemies than friends. But it's also a pretty alarming list. If you look at the human rights sort of atrocities and just these guys are all bad news, and that's pretty much the only thing that you have to sort of get along with Trump. I'm not talking like Xi Jinping because naturally we've been frenemies with China for years, right? And even though they're not communist, they're pretty capitalist, but authoritarian through and through. You know, Trump still finds a way to he still compliments the guy, you know what I mean? Like he's down with his strong leadership and all of that. But here's just a list of some people that Trump really vibes with, which I just find really interesting. So Kim Jong Un, everyone remembers when he called him Rocket Man and all that stuff. But obviously, with Kim Jong Un's turning a new leaf, this new foreign policy, we're going to be diplomatic with South Korea and disarmament and all that stuff. Like now, Trump's kind of tweeting a different sort of view on the guy, saying he's strong and he's charismatic and he's very wise. Uh, so yeah, that's interesting because don't forget that this guy's still head of a nation that completely doesn't feed any of its citizens. It puts all of its economy, all of its money, all of its resources into its military and creating their nuclear program. And so, large swaths of the country are starving if you're not in the army. So bad, right? He also gets along with Rodrigo Duerte. That's a Filipino president. I don't know if you guys are up on Duerte, but he has this crazy anti-drug policy where essentially if he finds you with any drug, I mean, marijuana, we're talking painkillers that are deemed illegal. That's like execution. So that is a death penalty. Really crazy stuff. He's complimented him, you know what I mean? He's called him strong. He's probably called him dashing. I mean, he's just really into that sort of stuff. Some other people are Recep Erdogan, the Turkish president, who literally pretty much ended democracy in Turkey single-handedly through just after the coup. He just totally took power constitutionally, sort of, but not really, right? He also gets along with Vladimir Putin, who we all know is his boss, right? Yeah, a little bit. Um, and also Basa Fatah El Sisi. I know I'm butchering that name, but that's the general who's sort of got a vice grip over Egypt. Basically, all just authoritarian figures who've come into power immorally are the people he vibes with. Trump was elected constitutionally. I mean, there was Russian interference, but it was still constitutional. So I just think it's fascinating how he just sort of gravitates towards these guys, and hates everyone that we should like. Not should like, but who we've traditionally liked, who shared a lot of our values. It's obvious that the president of the United States doesn't actually share a lot of those values.